What's going on, guys? Alex here, and in this video I'm sat down with my good friend Alejandro. I'm super fortunate to have come into a sport and have a really good friend who is a professional, and I don't know how many times you get to do that, but the amount of questions that I've asked him over the past 3 months is absurd. And I really wanted to put together a video where I could ask him the same questions or similar questions for you, so you can get an insight into the perspective, the journey, the mindset of a professional player. So first of all, I wanted to say thank you so much for doing this video. I would love, if to start with, same way we recorded this yesterday, but it all cut off. So here we are, re-recording it, whatever. The very first thing I would love for you to go through is to give a quick overview, background story as far as how you very first started paintball, what the very first memory that you had of playing paintball. I think we covered that yesterday. So let's jump straight into it.
Well, thanks for having me.
Of course.
My first experience was pretty funny. So my cousin used to live in San Diego. It was like I remember it was 2007 or 6. He was living in San Diego. I was visiting him for vacations. And then he told me like, hey dude, we're going to do something really funny. I had any idea. I have never heard about paintball before. I was like, what, 11 years old? Something like that? No, 14 years old. We saw the practice. I think Dynasty was practicing. I met for my first time a pro player. Actually, the first pro game in my life was a practice between teams. And I remember I asked like one guy, was a young guy, like 25, 24. He was Holy Lang, and they didn't know who he was at the moment. And I was like, yo, that looks cool. And I was a kid, even my English was really bad. And I was like, and he just like, you want to shoot? And I was like, really? Yeah, taste it. And that moment was like 50 volts per second. It was fucking crazy. I was like, oh,
I bet I was nuts to watch.
I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like I got hooked right away. That was like my first experience with paintball. Here in Colombia, I couldn't afford it because I was traveling with my parents. I didn't have the time. I was in school. I didn't work. So it's expensive here. But at like 17, I came back like to really play. And it was like my first experience with a team called Wild Dogs. It's known in the States. A really good team.
They have Wild Dogs here, don't they?
Yeah, it's still,
that's the same.
They don't exist anymore because something happened, I don't know. But I played with them. We won a South American. We won a lot of tournaments with them. So it was pretty good.
How old were you again?
I was like 17.
Damn.
Then I quit because I have like heart issues. I have like microtrophy of the heart. So my heart is smaller than a normal.
Yeah, you said that yesterday.
And I quit like 3 times because I couldn't. And then in 2017, I was like, yeah, I will do this again and I won't stop this time. And since 2017, I haven't stopped. I moved to Europe then, and then I become like, my journey to become a pro in Europe. I was like practicing with a French team, then I got tryouts for Gladiatori.
So why was you in Europe in the first place?
Well, I moved because I wanted to. I won a scholarship for French, and I moved there for that scholarship. And the first thing I was like looking forward to train. Like, where was the closest field nearby my place? It was in Montpellier, and I had.
And that's what I used to live there.
Yeah,
I have grandparents.
Yeah, your granddad is there. So I needed to move to Nîmes. Nîmes is like 45 minutes away in train or 30 minutes in train. So I was taking the train to go, and going to the ville after taking a bus or something like that. It was pretty awesome. So I started like learning about the French paintball. The French paintball is really known, like the Tauntons are really known. And the best
we watched them earlier on today.
It's amazing to see them play, how they play, how is a core. It's really nice, a lot of experience. Play the D1, like the French league also with that team.
That's a good question. I didn't cover yesterday when we were talking about this, because I was always curious from D5 to D4 to D3 to semi to pro. Like for you, for example, did you started playing D5 or you was playing for like the fuck around younger children type of situation or what? Or like how did you move through them?
Well, my
teams?
First team when I was playing with Wild Dogs, as soon as I started playing with them, they put me in D4 because like I didn't have any technique or shit, but I really was fast at the moment.
They could tell.
Yeah, so I was aggressive. I was like suicidal. I didn't think about it, but I was going to kill the guy. So I got my first position was a snake, and I had never played a snake. For me, it was something new, but I really love the spin and sliding and everything. So that was one of my first lesson was how to play the snake. So the first tournament we played, we finished second. Was in Ibagué, I think. It was like 2000.
Oh no way! No, I just got back from Ibagué. That was the place that 1v1 tournament.
Yeah, but it was a completely different place. In the entrance of Ibagué was like, I don't know. I don't think it exists anymore. And then we played the second one in Medellin, and we won the world champion. Then I had to retire. They called me back in 2017 to play again with them. They played like a couple of tournaments. The game was really bad. I think we were going to 4 or something like that because it started with the divisional one and the pro one. And with the pro in Colombia. Yeah. Pro in the States. And then I said no, fuck no. I want to play with you guys. Yeah. And then I moved to Europe. When I moved to Europe, everything was like started going backwards. Like my practices, the time I was dedicating, like the practices in the week, everything was really good. That's why until I focused on becoming the player I wanted to be. Then I met William, that now plays with Gladiatori with me. He became my friend at first because of that French team I played. He was the only guy that spoke in English, and I was like, and the other ones were in French, and I didn't know any French at that moment. So I was like only speaking to them in the tournament. We win, like we played like.
You really did know that you would play forever, didn't you?
Exactly.
I can even just from the story that you're telling me, I can picture you being there and talking to this kid. I feel like it would probably be very similar to me turning up and sitting down and talking to you and being like, hey.
It was funny, and then he told me like ask Slava, get him on the DM or something like that, and then he wanted to do the tryouts and show yourself in Rome. The tryouts for that. Sorry, I was there in Malta at that moment. The first thing I messaged him was like, hey Slava, my name's Alejandro, blah blah blah. I want to play for you guys. There's a way that I can make the tryouts with you. And the first answer the first thing he told me was like, what the fuck do you want with us? I'll never forget that. He told me that, and I was like, I want to fucking win. Yeah. And I want to become a pro player and a champion. And then he was like, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this, by this, by this, by this. And we have the first practice on Thursday. That was a Wednesday. So I had to run to Decathlon, buy all that shit, transfer some money to the account, like showing him like I was like,
serious.
For the tryouts and everything. And he was like, wow, that was fast. Nice. So like you show interest on the thing. So like he destroyed me. I was fine at that moment because I was like coming back from Colombia and I was like bad. Yeah. So he told me that you have to lose weight. And I was like, okay. So I had like 1 month before the tryouts. And I went to Rome, and I remember that in Rome I was a little brat, but I was still aggressive. We played, and I fucking beat him like 6 times. Really? And he was like hitting up because I didn't have the technique as polished as I am before, but I was really aggressive. And then he just beat me because my physical condition was.
Sure, like mine right now.
I passed the tryouts, and he told me, we're going to test you, we're going to the CPS, and after the CPS, the tournament that Slava owns, like in Europe, after the CPS, we will see where you can join. I did the tryouts, we finished first and third in the 2 categories we played, and he was like, okay, let's fucking go, we can work with that. And after that, COVID came, fucked us up, it sucked. But we played in September 2021, our first pro tournament. We made Sunday Club on our first tournament, everyone was really excited. So it was pretty cool. And then, next year we started the season in Germany. We finished third in the tournament. It was the first time an Italian team got a trophy in a professional paintball team, like in the NXL, like the biggest tournaments. Also was the first time a Colombian playing pro in Europe.
Really?
And also, the fun fact, I got a plate of the NXL, black, saying the best move of the tournament.
No way. What did you do? Let's talk about that, because that was one of my questions that I wanted to talk about.
I just slide. We were like, it was the best game of the fucking tournament. Like, we were playing against the Hurricanes, and we were like 6-6 or 7-7 in overtime, 7-7 in overtime, and we risked it all. I throw myself into the snake. I run down the snake, shoot 4 guys because I had my back plate. I think it was Paya. Paya shoot the guy that was blocking me. I pass and I shoot the 4 black guys. And it was like in the overtime. We were risking everything. And after that, like, we put the point, we won the game, and I was like so excited. It was the first time the team put like a lot of hopes on me to finish that game, and we won it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It was in the house of the German team. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, super epic.
Oh, it was pretty cool. So that's the way like my career developed until now. Like we played last year, I only could play one tournament. It sucked before I didn't have the money to travel to Europe.
Yeah, because especially from here, Colombia to Europe, I mean, that's going to cost you like 2,000 on the time.
Exactly. So now, next year, I'm really prepared for everything. So I hope we can catch.
I know, nice. Because I even us being here, we spoke about it a lot, and even the preparation for that tournament, and trying to make sure you can practice. We're here in Medellin. It's not exactly easy to train. So what can you do? This was one of my questions that I wanted to talk about, especially for people who might not be able to train as much, or maybe they're just starting, or whatever it might be. Like my situation, what do you feel like you can do in your situation where we can't train as much as you might want to train? What are the options?
Well, I learned a lot about Slava with dry practice. What is a dry practice? Like you start polishing your technique. Polishing your technique is just muscle memory. Like when you grab weights and you know that you have to lift it this way with the legs that way, it's the same when you grab the gun.
Yep.
You just start like polishing that technique to know if your elbow is showing where you're shooting, stuff like that, the speed, changing the positions. It all becomes like muscle memory. You start like digesting the technique and it becomes something natural. When you just go to the field and shoot, it's nice. You're shooting, you're seeing what's happening, you start developing the baseball IQ. But for the body, the elasticity is important. You need to have like those moves in the correct way so the barrel is going in a straight line on what you want to shoot.
Yep.
Sometimes people think like, yeah, I just do this and you snap. But the head stays out, gets shot, but the gun is inside. Or you just snap, the gun gets out, they shoot the gun and you just hide.
Yep.
So those things are important. Also shooting is important, but for me the dry practice is worth it.
Yes, because even with us, like obviously it's super exciting for me to go and shoot paint. We spoke about this yesterday. It's super exciting to go and shoot paint, but as far as becoming a better player, and boring, repetitive drills are a necessity, right?
And also because people are used to playing ramping. I don't play in ramping, but I practice. I play in semi-auto.
Yep.
So I'm like shooting whatever my finger is putting on. So I started learning how to control my hand. If I use both fingers to shoot or only one, depends. But also you start to developing the idea that you don't need to shoot too many paint to shoot the guy.
Yep.
Like the Tontons shoot.
I love that. You told me that. Yeah, regardless of how many balls you shoot, it only takes
one goal to kill the guy.
Yeah.
No, no more than that.
So if you get it, so you feel if we're there at home and we're able to know, this was one of the things that we covered when anytime that I'm here and I'm fortunate enough to practice with you, if I can get my body to do what it is that we want, doesn't matter if I'm in front of a Dorito or if I stood up or on my knee or whatever the fuck it is, I know where that barrel and my body and my head will align, which means if I take that shot, even without seeing the confirmed kill.
Exactly, so you just shoot and you just hide. Slava snaps is so fast that there is a video of him playing on Emo Kings that he shoots Sam Monville on the mask and Sam stays like, because now I didn't look at him, he's just like,
I love that.
Yeah, for me, it helped me a lot. It's also for the budget, not all the time you have the money to spend it like $4. Here we don't have a revolve center, it's not like you're
so
going to
cool.
That's amazing. That helps you a lot, but also the revolves are some work that's the same as the thing. The technique is really important. The important thing is the dedication you have. Like if you take your gun, you don't do nothing at your home. Like let's say I'm playing video games because I came back from school, university, work. I just take my gun, do 1,000 snaps.
Yeah.
That's it.
Every morning I'll come down and I'll try and my gun I'll leave downstairs. But here for the videos, I've got it so it looks cool. But I'll leave the gun downstairs because otherwise I won't pick it up.
Exactly. So you just take your gun, you start changing it, 50, 100, another 50.
Put a few songs on. That's how it's such a good way to do it. I'm like, okay, if I listen to 4 different songs, each song is fucking 3 minutes. They're my 4 favorite songs. I've done that 200 times.
Exactly, and the thing is like, it's not about doing it fast. People think that your snap is really good because you do it fast and fast and fast. No, you just go, you do the technique first. You let it digest.
Yep.
You just when you go to snap in the field, you just go boom, boom, boom. This is repetition.
Even when, so I'll stand up like this. Even when, I remember when we were sat there and you were trying to show me, okay, what are we doing here? And what was I doing to start with? I was doing this and I was thinking about this and I'm thinking about snapping with here, snapping here. And you were like, okay, you remember, because I'm Jim, you're like, okay, when you're in the gym, you've got that individual ab crunch, you've got this movement which is coming down,
Exactly.
right? That reflex, which now,
It becomes normal.
yeah, super. Or like I found my way of finding my normal life and how I would do it, and then making it into a way for painting. You know?
You just try to simulate what is happening on the field. Of course, you will be comfortable because you don't have a bunker, no one shooting at you, but you just do that, and the technique will start flowing into your body. It becomes natural.
So let's talk about that, because that's a really, really good one. If you could think about some of the most important things, let's stick with one just for now. If you could think of one of the most important things which defines some of the top players, obviously I know what you're going to say, which is communication and internal communication within inside of your team. But as an individual player, for the people who might be watching this, probably not that many, but what could they do, or what is the thing that they should probably try and focus on? Is it trying to think about where their head is it their elbows, is it where their feet positioning is? What do you feel like is a big flaw that takes people from D5, D4, D3 to semi to pro one day? That's so subconscious to you at that point, you don't even fucking think about it.
The thing is, like, of course, communication is 80% of the game. Of course, the technique is another 10, and let's say the fitness is another 10. But what happens with the communication? The difference between a semi-pro team and a pro team is that core. Like, they understand each other without even talk to him.
Yeah,
like, you know how he's going.
Yes, you told me yesterday. Like, you could tell if he's fidgeting that he's ready to go, and you've got to be ready.
So he's
back
ready to
up.
go, and you understand that someone is shooting at him without him saying. You see the paint pounding, even you're covering to the bunker. You see your snake guy in the Miami or something like that. You're shooting, but you see his bunker is pounding. So you know he wants to go because he's not shooting and preparing or something. So you just lift off, shoot the guy who's probably shooting at the guy. He hides and he moves, and you control the guy so you can move.
Even that like initial hey.
Exactly. It becomes team ball.
Yeah.
That's the difference between the semi-pro and the pro. Like, that's the main difference. Like, you understand each other so well that it won't be any trouble. That's the difference. Between Division 5, 4, 3, 2, it's all that you start getting knowledge about how the game develops. After D2 to semi-pro and that, you already have the game developed and your technique starts to look. There's people in D3 that I've seen that looks really good but doesn't understand the game.
Sure.
Do the stupid move.
Or like they don't do their job.
Or they play, let's say, this is the bunker, and the guy is like 1 meter away from the bunker. In pro, you cannot. The guys will shoot you straight away, they won't miss the shot.
Yeah.
Because you're giving the opportunity. That's the difference. It's a game of inches when you play pro.
Yeah.
And when you're playing like with the bunker that far away, for sure you get shot.
I love it, because even if you watch games, like we were on the drive this morning, sat here this morning, when you watch, for example, someone's coming up to sling, they've got the sling 50, they look inside, the excitement of people who are watching, because you know they're not missing that one single fucking ball that they have.
No.
So sick.
And also like the strategy, you start getting coaches, the coach is better than the coach from D3, 4, or might be a pro player that is teaching them. But yeah, of course, also the physical aspect of the person helps a lot.
Mhm.
Like if you have a guy that is like fast as kid, even in D4, for sure you will destroy the. It's a guy that is already penetrating half of the game and shooting everything.
Yeah.
Might be that he shoots like this, and the paint doesn't go, but the guy is already striking for guns, they will turn because the reaction is like danger, you turn.
Yeah.
So that's it also. That danger reaction is also changing in semi-pro and pro.
Yeah.
You know the danger. You can be, the guy can be in the 50, but if the 50 doesn't see no one will put pressure on him. And he will like, hey, we have that guy, he's just worried about it, but the game doesn't become like that guy.
Yeah.
That's the main difference. And the main reason we do the drive practices is to call it at 10%. That will help us a lot. A lot. I can assure you guys, like my technique was crazy. I was grabbing like this. Not even like my head was going out. And then I started like polishing it in my gun, and you see like I can run, shoot one guy, shoot the other guy, and my gun will always be lifted up and my barrel doesn't move.
That's what we were practicing yesterday a lot, wasn't it? One of the first things I was thinking about, what are we going to do today? Let's just do some one-on-ones, whatever. The first thing was bunker, high, low, snap out, wrap around, shoot, try and keep our barrel as straight as possible. Went through foot techniques, went through obviously even the positioning of trying to shoot and change and shoot.
That's the most important thing. I think like you polish that. Also, you go to the field shoot snaps, but it's like don't shoot like bam, 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 2,000 times.
Yeah.
It's just, you're spending money.
If anything, you might be like creating a bad habit for yourself as well. If you were just sat behind a bum, go of your mind then constantly thinking that you're not going to do that in a fucking game, I hope.
No, of course not. Why not? Because if you start doing the same, the guy will get your timing and will shoot.
Predict it. Yeah.
That's it. In paintball, it cannot be predictable. That's why when we practice, I told you like, boom, you shot, you miss the shot, you get back, wait 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, boom, go out.
Yep.
And the next one will pass, then one you get out, you get down to the one side, the other side. You start changing. If you're predictable, it's like hunting.
Yes.
The guy will shoot straight away.
I hope, and then this will come on to the next question in a minute, because you have been able to watch and help me so far with everything. So one of the questions that I want to come to in a second, but it's also something that I'm aware of myself. Hopefully you'll confirm. Yesterday, I got, when we were playing 1v1s, you hit me, I came in, and instead of me immediately coming out, I might have just sat there for 2 or 3 seconds. And maybe I did actually come out in the same place, because I know you're smart and think I'm going to think about coming out in a different place, and instead I'm now in the same place because there was a 2 to 3 second delay instead of whatever. So on that, which is the next point that I want to go into, because you've been able to see this, what do you think so far for me are the things that I need to focus on? Some of the most important things. Let's stick for something cool. Give me one bad thing that you know that I'm still currently doing, regardless of how long I play, I want to improve. What is one bad thing that I'm doing? And then let's go on to one good thing from the day that I've started until now.
It is a building. Don't get your gun down when you're moving.
Oh.
If you're moving, you're gonna, why? Because sometimes when you move from a bunker to another bunker, you won't have a bunker.
Yeah.
What is your bunker now?
Yep.
The gun blocks the guy from going out, or it will climb your paint.
Sure.
So it's the smartest thing is always lift up your gun. Even when you're going to bunker someone, you don't bunker like this, because he might go out first, shoot you, and you couldn't even react.
Yeah. Even yesterday, this morning, I think the video that I posted, if you watched it, or if you noticed it, when I come out and I run out the side, it was good, but then I just like halfway through dropped my gun down. I was sliding, so, but still, like it was still half of the run, which I saw you, and I dropped my, yeah, I dropped.
It's like that.
Yeah.
It's nothing else. And a good thing I really like is like your technique is starting to come and your paint is close. Like, it's not like you shot me, but the paint is like here, like phew, you can feel it.
I mean, and to be fair, yesterday we had reduced rate of fire because we were in a small area.
If it will be 290, we'll shot you soon.
Yeah, that was really cool. Even when we were practicing yesterday, I feel like that was something that starting to improve. And I would put that down to that big ass mirror downstairs of me just trying to hit both sides, you know? Because what else can I do?
Both hands need to work.
Yes. And where it was funny, because if we go back to the very first time where you were like, okay, which I remember as a little bit of a backstory, when I very first started playing, I played the first weekend, just turned up and played, and then they said there's a tournament next week. And I said, I'll pay you, come teach me, I need some help, I'm not going to turn up and lose this shit. And it was great, I won 4, lost 4.
And then I don't know what's the idea. I teach you, I know, yeah, I can tell, like, you keep ass of people that have been playing for 10 years, we will be playing for 4 days, and they were like, what the fuck are you doing with this guy? And I was like, yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a good example though, because I was just like, especially around business, that's all I've done for the past 7 years. I will pay coaches and I will pay people who I know who are better than me to teach me. I had a conversation with Harrison Fry about this, and this where we got along really well because he's a business guy as well, and he was just like, yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Why wouldn't you have the opportunity to pay these people? It's like paintball is the only fucking sport where people don't do that. They don't do that. Even for me, when I played cricket before in the past, my dad, as my birthday present, paid for a private session. That's how cool it was.
Imagine that. You know? But the thing is, in paintball, there are not a lot of coaches, and there are not a lot of people that really want to teach everyone. Like, you have to be patient because you will see like the guy doing shit for like a lot of time, but it's in everything. It's even when you have a child, you have to teach him. Yeah. The guy doesn't even know how to walk, how to communicate. You have to like be patient. It's the same with a paintball guy. Like every time I got a paintball guy to once practice with me, like for example, you when you came, the first thing I told you is just listen. Yeah. Sometimes you won't agree, but this is the process.
Yes, and how can I argue with what you're saying because with zero experience? You know, I was all open, I was all ears, Yeah, I think it was
And
amazing.
those people without experience that come to you and say like, no, that's bullshit. I'm like, okay, fuck off. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like Danielle, for example. Danielle runs practice with me a lot. I changed her technique.
Yeah.
Her snap.
I seen it. I was there with you when she came out. She was just like, "Oh my god!"
Exactly.
And I was like, "What do you mean? I just got taught this 4 days ago."
And her fucking snap is now scary as well.
Really?
Why? Because before she was like snapping with her arm, and the arm stays when she was coming back under her mask. No, she's fucking small. He just shoots you in the face, and she comes back in.
Yeah, it's fast.
And she's really dedicated.
Yep.
That's what I love about you too, guys. Because it's hard to find someone that really loves the sport as you do. I cannot speak with no one about paintball as the way I talk to you or Daniela, because we're like passionate about it. Like, how can I improve this? Also, when I go to the field, how can I improve my slide? How can I react faster? How can I change my shot? How can I extend to shoot the guy inside? It's always like that. You have to be like that.
I remember what it was, man. Changing hands. One of the very first things that I spoke to you about when you were trying to show me, and you were like, "Oh, by the way, you've got to shoot with your other hand." And I don't know if you remember, but all I done was pick the gun up. This is how I know. I picked the gun up like this. You were like, "Okay, change hands," and I went like that. But I was there, I was like, how the fuck are we supposed to change hands? And I remember I was seeing you do it at the time, and wow.
I remember, that was funny though. And I was like, and I was right with me, and I was like, yeah, okay, like this. Okay, and you did the same like twice. And I was like, what the fuck? I just explained to you. You know? I don't understand. I was like, yeah, no problem.
It just fell. But now I feel like that for me is one of the things. Watch that video we were going through this morning. Came up, switched hands straight away. I feel like it's so natural. And if anything, if yesterday when we were practicing, the run that we were doing from right to left, that's my bad hand. So I came out, shot, ping, ping, and it was almost better than the hand that I thought. I am left-handed, but sometimes in sports, even with fucking snowboarding, I snowboard the opposite. So.
Regular goofy,
Yep.
People, yeah, for me, like my snap with my left hand is sometimes dangerous than my one with my right hand.
Mm-hmm.
But with my right hand, I can put more pressure on the guy. But with the snap with the left one, it's 10 times more dangerous because why? I practice this hand so much because it sucks so bad that I was like 10,000 times changing the position and stuff like that. That's why my left hand is more dangerous, but with the right hand, I will pound more pain, will shoot straight, like running, stuff like that.
I remember even when we very first started speaking, I know you'll remember this, you said, what is your intention?
Exactly. Something that I learned from Slava, and I will always be grateful with him, was that word, intention. What is intention? Intention is when you're playing, what do you want to do? I play a snake. So my intention what is to kill at least 2 guys by point, so I make the hole and they can finish. I'm suicidal, I'm expendable, whatever you want to call it, but my mission is that.
Yes.
It's not to finish the game, let's say Axel went on,
Yes.
it's finish the game, something like that. For me, it's just kill 2 guys and I trust my teammates, so they will destroy it. Sometimes you can kill the 4 guys, 5 guys, doesn't matter. But your idea as a snake plays, go as further in the snake as you can, checking your tape, blocking your tape so the guy doesn't conquer you, and you see the opportunity to go bunker and shoot you guys.
I got a million questions. We can talk for hours. Hopefully we'll do it again at some point. There is a few that I do want to finish up with, which is, once again, these are all just questions basically for me, because they're what I ask you all the time. Right now, I'm trying to figure out, where do I play? Where is the best place for me to play? And I don't know right now. I played a little bit of everything. I'm trying to find my location. So, do you feel like it's something, especially for people who might be watching this, if they've always, from the day that they've turned up, they said, just like I did, I looked at the Dorito and I said, I like that, I want to play the Dorito. Do you think it's super important for everybody to try and play every single role?
For me, the most important thing is to learn how to play the role.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you're a good snake, whatever. There's snakes that are natural, and there's snakes that are not natural. Like they're made with hard work. It's like Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to see, talent against hard work.
Yeah.
Whatever you see is you.
Yeah.
So let's say you want to be an attacker, but your physical condition at the moment is on the bench or something like that. But you try.
Yep.
I didn't fucking try. I've seen this guy. He's fucking 50 years old with a knees destroyed, hand destroyed. He fucking slides and he fucking continues to play even if he has to go to the snake.
Yeah, sick.
Why? Because he fucking wants to, and because he learned how to play that shit, and he knows how to play that shit, and he knows how to play that shit. You have to be. everywhere.
I think, yeah, and when you told me, I was just like, oh, well, obviously, because it's not like, okay, I'm a Dorito player. What the fuck happens if you drop 1 or 2 bodies? What do? You spread the field. Potentially, you might move from that position. So, okay, so now you're sat at back center. So what? Well, you never played back center. It doesn't fucking make any sense. You have to. I would think you'd have to at least understand how to play every position, because you'll probably be in that situation at some point in your career.
Let's say I have to go back, because at that point I was supposed to go to the center, to the middle of the field. We lost the snake side, and we already have the real side, and I have to come back to the back center and throw myself into the back. And I don't play the center. I don't play the middle field, the middle. I also never been a back guy. I learned how to communicate playing the back.
Yep.
You learn how to scream, to how, like, you know, I in one of your videos you can see like, Alex, fucking go, and you know that, okay, he told me to go, I'm blocking the guy.
Trusted you,
Exactly.
moved, killed 3 people, and boom, good to
And
go.
with the intention, something you just mentioned, with intention comes that.
Yes.
Trust the guy.
Yes.
If you don't trust your teammate, believe me, there is no team moving.
We spoke about this just before this video, because we had a tournament not long ago. It was actually my first tournament as the team, and it was in Bogota, our flight from here. And we were changing out a few players, but I was playing Snake. I was super nervous. But for me, especially ex-military, I'm loud, I'm British, and people can hear me. And I get pissed off if I can't hear other people. And whoever was my back player at the time, I believe it might have been Diego, I don't know, I think maybe he got tunnel vision and I couldn't hear a single fucking thing. And I was like, he said, he's like, you've got to listen more. And I was like, okay, yeah, fine, okay, I get it, I've got to listen more. We changed, Sebastian was there, and his communication was fucking loud, and talking about the whole trust thing, I trusted him when he would say, because it was between us that I learned that. I said, Sebastian, I don't care what you know, I said, I'll tell you how to help me. Tell me, Alex, move. You know, we're not playing professional. They're not gonna hear that and go, ooh, and fucking laser me. It's 1v1s times 5. You know, and I was like, if you can tell me when to move, I will move, and if I die, that's your fault. And I have no problem blaming that on you. And like, obviously not, but in that moment, it's perfect because that trust was. Same as that video. Alex, move. Okay, boom, I'm gone. And guess what? If I did die, I'll turn around and I'll look at you and I'll be like, you told me to fucking move.
Yeah, but it's completely trustworthy. Like we said, like, you have to trust your guy.
Yes.
It's really hard to play table without people you don't trust.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know what to say. The guy is protecting you from being shot. There is no more science to think about it. He's protecting you to being shot.
So, last 2 questions I want to ask you. One was the same one I asked you yesterday, which is basically for me. Because, well, you know, what is your intention? Well, I'm not playing to fucking play once a week. I'm not playing to play a D3. I'm playing at some point to play pro. And for me, and anything that I'm good at in life, anybody knows me, they know I'm fast. Not with everything. Even how I talk, right? ADHD, crackhead. It's good for a lot of stuff, bad for some stuff. So all I think when I come into anything I do in life, snowboarding, paintballing, whatever, business, what is the fastest amount of time that I can achieve my goal? And before I give you mine, I want to hear your thoughts first, because you mentioned a really, really good point about an example yesterday of somebody in the fastest time that it was. What do you think is the fastest time for somebody to go from D5, me, 3 months ago, to a professional player?
Normally it will take you like normally 4 years. Why? Because it's like every year you play a season in the division.
Yep.
You can skip some divisions, right? But the main goal is to do it in like 2.5 years. Why? Because you have to show dedication. It's not like you can be really talented. There are kids, like there is a guy who used to play in my team that's really talented, but he was like lazy bitch. And he was really like he understood the game, the react, everything. His head, his instinct was so good, but he was a lazy bitch.
Yeah.
You can be really talented in paintball, but if you're a lazy bitch, you won't go nowhere.
Yeah.
You're dedicated. Might you not have the instinct he has, but if you fucking put your work on it, it can be in 2 years and
Yeah.
I can assure you that you have to go do the tryouts, you have to show yourself better than anyone that's been playing 10 years paintball, but that's mental.
Yeah.
You can be really good, but you have to show it.
Yeah.
And the way to show it is fucking practice, go to the gym, go run, physical condition, technique.
The same with everything in life. You mentioned it earlier on 10,000 times,
Yeah.
because 10,000 hours is typically before you can become an expert at
Okay.
anything. That's why I'm like, I want to go to every tournament, I want to turn up at every single fucking training. How am I otherwise? I'm at 10,000 hours, it's going to take me 5 years. I don't want to do that.
And then watch a lot of games to understand, ask questions like what you see, what's happening, why he happened this move, why he did it. And also play our videos. That teach a lot because you're in the heat, you know what's happening, what you have to do, you have to learn how to like get the shot, looking for the shots, understand what's happening, the bounce shots. The bounce is becoming a really important part of the game and before it was.
Yes, super. On this, because I think we spoke about this last time, I want to wrap this up with one final question, which was a cool one I remember you telling me yesterday, which was, what was your most memorable moment that you had in paintball?
My best moment was finishing third and bringing like, I was living in Italy at the moment in Rome, and was showing like the trophy to like, let's say, the president of the National Shooting and Hunting
Association.
Exactly. I was like showing, and I have a picture in my cell with the guy and everything.
Really?
He was so proud for us. Finishing third was the first time in history. Also, I could only play pro in Europe. For me, it was like big shot, and also like that play that they gave to me, for me was like wow.
Yeah.
For me, it was the greatest moment. My greatest moment now is to win Europe and to win the States. That's the main goal. That's what we work for. Gladiatori is always like pushing ourselves. Even if we live far away, we don't train together all the time.
No.
So for us, it's hard.
Yep.
But now, this season, we will try to make it happen.
Nice.
We will practice everyone where we are and try the flaws we have.
Do what you can.
We have to push it.
Yep.
You have to know what's your problem. If my problem is I'm not too aggressive, push it, you get fucking shot and it's in practice, you have to do it.
Yeah.
And that's it for my paintball career is still happening, but we're gonna continue together.
I
I teach all I know.
Yes, I appreciate that as well.
For sure. And anyone like wants like advice or something, I know like I'm open to everyone.
Yes, I hope that there will be a bunch of people who will drop some comments down below. Alejandro will get the message passed along. I think it's insane to not be able to talk to people and say, every single player in the world, what's your number one tip? What's the biggest thing that you've learned? Tell me something that I didn't know, blah, 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 blah. So, if you have any comments or whatnot, of course, please let me know. Thank you so much. Of course, I really appreciate it. And catch you guys in the next video. Cameras died, always, every single video. Your camera is dying. Don't know what's going on. Ciao.
Peace.